Welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to set up your development environment for Soroban, smart contract development. We will be covering the following topics. 1. The prerequisites. 2. Install Rust toolchain. 3. We are going to be installing the WASM target. 4. We are going to configure our editor by installing the relevant extensions. 5. We're going to install the Stellar CLI. 6. We are going to configure Stellar CLI for testnet and also the identity provider. So these are the prerequisites. So we install the Rust toolchain, the editor with Rust support, the Stellar CLI, and the rest. So let's go install the Rust toolchain. So if you're using Linux, I think this is the URL. So, or you're going to go to this website. So you're going to go to this rustlang.org. And then if you're using Windows, of course, you need to download. For example, I'm using 64-bit. Then I'm going to be downloading this. Then you want to install it on your machine. So you want to proceed by installing it. I already have mine installed. So for in this case, you're going to press like 1 here to proceed with default installation. So when you get it installed, the next thing you want to do is to install the WASM target. So when you do your cargo build, so this is going to be your target. So WASM 32 unknown. So what I'm going to do is that I'm still going to go to the site and take the link. So we're going to take this. So we're going to go to the Stellar. So we're just going to go to the Stellar homepage here. So when we come to this setup page, so on developers.stellar.org, so when you come to this setup page, so the first thing you want to do, of course, is to install this target. So we're going to be copying this link. So we're going to be Rust sub target add. So WASM 32 unknown. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to open my terminal. So in my terminal, I want to make sure that I'm on my PowerShell terminal, for example, since I'm using Windows, or you can use your normal terminals and want to install this Rust target. So you see, because I already have it installed, so you see component Rust STD for target is already up to date. So if you don't have it installed, it's going to install this target for you on your Windows machine. So the next thing you want to do is to configure your editor. So you want to configure your editor. In order to configure our editor, we need the following extensions. So we need the Rust Analyzer extension and the code LLDB extension. So I'm going to go to my Visual Studio Code now. So on my Visual Studio Code, so this is my Visual Studio Code from our last exercise where we were playing with cargo. So you want to come to this extension and then you want to install this Rust Analyzer extension. So you want to just start searching for the Rust Analyzer extension. So when you click on it, you're going to install it here. So it's already installed. So, and then the next thing is you need to install the code LLB. So the code LLDB. So this is what you're going to use for debugging. So I have both of them installed. So you want to install this extension too. So the next thing we need to do is, of course, install the Stellar CLI. So let's go to the website once more. So we're going to go to this website and then you want to take this code here. So I'm going to be using cargo install -- locked. So install with cargo from source. So you want to install using this. So I'm going to take this install. So I'm going to go to my terminal, still same, and I'm just going to make sure that I paste this here. So Rust stop. No, I think this is the old one. It looks like it wasn't copied. So let's make sure it's been copied. So I'm just going to click here, see that it's copied, and then gonna get it installed here. So you see, so it's gonna install the Stellar CLI, because we need the Stellar CLI to be able to create our smart contract. So it's similar to if you're coming from the React world, like you create React app. So it's going to be the CLI tool you want to use to create your smart contract. So after we get this done, so the next thing we want to do, of course, you could also do it using other methods as well. You could, for example, use the cargo bin install, or if you're using Mac OS, you could use the pre-install cargo Stellar CLI. So the next thing, we want to configure the Stellar CLI for testnet. So we want to use this Stellar network add -- global, and then we want to add so this is kind of like the RPC URL for the testnet, and you want to add this network phrase. So then after then we are going to generate the keys for Stellar keys, generate -- global, and then we're going to put the name of our key, and then of course the network that we've already added. So let's go do that now. So we need to go back to the site once more. So on the site, we need to take this. So we need to take the whole of this. Since we are on Windows PowerShell, so I'm just going to copy here, and I'm going to also come to my terminal as well, where I have PowerShell. So it's still building. We're going to give it some time to complete. I'm going to come back to this shortly. CLI has now been installed. So now that we have our CLI installed, the next thing we want to do is to add our network. So we can add the network using the command you've seen here. So we could do Stellar network add. And then the -- global flag is that we're adding the network to our entire, kind of like our entire PC globally. Then this is the RPC URL for Soroban testnet. And then this is kind of like the network phrase for testnet. So after we do this, then we can generate the key. So let's try to do that. So what I'm going to do now is, so I'm going to just try doing that by going to the setup guide still. So let's go to the setup guide. So this is the setup guide. So in this setup guide, you could see here, we could just do Stellar network add -- global. So if you want, and then this is the name of the network we added. So if you want it to be global, this will create a configuration file for you inside of your home directory. So you have this config Soroban network. But for me, generally what I do is that, because sometimes you could also work on Soroban directly on your PC. So you could use Docker, for example. So you could run the entire node on Docker, and then you want to if you kind of like run it globally, then you're going to have issues of trying to always be editing this file, or maybe kind of like always run something globally on top of it, maybe to modify it. So let's try to do this. So I will do this for globally for now, but just wanted to show you the disadvantage of doing that. So now I'm just going to paste everything here. So I think it's fine. Then we put enter. You see everything works. And then the next thing, we want to generate also the keys for it to work globally. So this one is kind of like we're configuring our identity. So in this case, I will just come here and get the keys. And let's try it too. So in this case, I will change the name of my keys to, instead of using Alice, I'm going to use like Reg for the name of the key. So I'm going to do Stellar keys generate global. This is going to generate the keys globally. And then I want to check the public address of the key. So let me get this. So this will help me get the public address of my key. So you see, so I'm going to find the one for Reg, and then we're going to see. So see, so this is our public address. You see, everything is working now. So we are set to start developing our Soroban contract. I'm going to do an additional video where I'm going to get this same setup running on Docker, so that if you kind of like want to kind of like play around with stuff the way you want, because for example, within Stellar, the data in testnet, they could actually clean it up after some time. So you could be working on something and they could announce within the Discord community that they are kind of like clearing every stuff on testnet. Then that could be a problem to you. So if you want to kind of like work locally on your own Docker environment so that you can deploy as many times as you want, I think have everything locally. Then the next video I'm going to be doing is for you. So have a very wonderful day. Thank you.